Hey guys, another video for the buying a house in Japan playlist. This one is actually pretty good position up on a hill. It was 9.5 million yen, so about $120,000 depending on when you happen to be watching this video, but about $120,000. It's about 35 to 40 years old. It was in reasonably good condition, but zero garden. Yeah, just a bit sort of fairly typical. This is fairly typical. The last 30 or 40 years, most of the houses have been built pretty much taking up the whole block. So they're almost most of them have been built like this, so they're all about a metre from the boundary. Is very common. But then there was this one. This one was 7.5 million yen, which would be closer to $100,000. This is out in the middle of nowhere, out in the countryside, and this was on 810 square meters, which is about 32 perch for my American friends. So yeah, bigger block. This is country size block out in the countryside. And I don't really want to start a big discussion about this other topic, but we showed you a house on this playlist once before that was a deceased estate where the person had suicided, and I'd mentioned that it was a lot cheaper because of that. This place is the same. So the person who owned this place suicided, which makes it a lot cheaper, because a lot of Japanese people just don't want to buy it if the owner's taken their own life. So please don't leave distasteful comments about that, guys, because I will delete them. We have to have a little bit of sensitivity. Just because this isn't our country doesn't mean that these people we shouldn't have some compassion for people. I get really disappointed this week. Some amazingly disappointing comments from people about all sorts of stuff. Japan deserved the earthquake, that sort of stuff. For some reason people think if it's not somebody in their own street, if it's someone in another country, they can be insensitive. So please don't leave insensitive comments, or I'll... Anyway, moving on. What was nice about this was this jungle at the back. It was pretty wild, sort of like city land, I guess. It was just too wild. It was a hill sloping away. But you can see there, the neighbours at the back are pretty close. They do tend to do that for some reason in the countryside. They'll, big open spaces full of rice fields, and then 3 or 4 houses all clustered together. I guess it's because the facilities, power and gas and stuff, it's easier to do it when the houses are close, I guess. But, yeah, just what they do. So the house at the back was a bit close, but the rest of it was, yeah, it was okay. $100,000, but really in the middle of nowhere. So, anyway, hope you found it interesting. The search continues. More videos coming soon.